It's okay. We live.
All right, we in the building. All right, Laker locker room once again with my man Rod. I'm Mr.
What's
411. What's going
what's
on,
up?
Rod?
What's up?
Man, we gotta talk, man. We gotta talk.
Yeah,
Getting
let's
close to
get
training
into it.
camp. Getting close to training camp, man. So we gotta talk about these Lakers. Welcome
Oh yeah.
everybody to the show, Laker locker room, where we discuss Laker talk, and we talk about it at least once or twice a month. But we got to get into it, man. So let's go ahead and jump right on this thing, man. Everybody hit the like, subscribe, notification button, and stay tuned to all the things that we discuss. All right, Lakers, man. It's a lot of things going on with them, but let's talk about this one first. All right, because this one was definitely one of the things on my mind, and definitely want to get your opinion on it. And that's the situation with head coach Darvin Ham. He speaks highly of Russell Westbrook, and
Hmm.
and it's documented. This is not anything made up. It's the thing that he's really high on Westbrook. He, tells people that they're sleeping on him and all that kind of stuff. But then you look at the summer league, Westbrook was on the bench. I didn't see a lot of Ham and Westbrook together publicly. Now I heard they were behind the scenes talking a little bit, but
Hmm.
you know how that can go a little bit. And we
Yeah.
didn't get to see LeBron and Palinka. Like all those guys were huddled up, but Westbrook, I never saw him in the group. So it just making me wonder, man, is Ham really believing in Westbrook, or is he just kind of doing what coach talk right now?
Um, I think he believes in Westbrook, but Westbrook gonna have to believe in, gonna have to buy in to Ham. You know, Ham strikes me as the type of guy that he's in your corner, but if he sees in any type of way you don't have his back, I don't think he's gonna ride for you like that. I think he's a straight shooter type of guy, and somebody like Westbrook, I don't think he understands that you know the clock is ticking on his career, and unfairly or not, this is something that he's gonna have to deal with. I mean, I know that he can point the fingers at other people and say, "Hey, this is I don't get to play my way and this, that, and the other." Well, it's give and take, and whenever you play with LeBron James, good, bad, or indifferent, if you want the ball in your hand, you're probably not going to be able to play the way that you've always played. That's just
Yeah,
the way it goes. The only person I've seen it work with was Kyrie, and and it was more of a your turn, my turn type of deal. They weren't really, in my opinion, still playing off each other. So Westbrook, he's going to have to really, if I mean, Westbrook's trump card is this, and if he's smart, this is what he'll do. He will come in and say, "Coach, let me come off the bench." That way, you'll get the chance to play your game, find your rhythm, find your value, and then slowly get incorporated with the starters. And you won't feel so pressed that you got to do something because you've been playing with the bench, the second unit, and you got a rhythm going. But as far as Darvin Ham and his belief, I believe he believes in Russell Westbrook. I believe he's looking at the past. He's looking at, he still got some juice left in the tank. He's still one of the most athletic point guards we've ever seen. And, he just has to put him in spots where he can be effective.
yeah. And speaking of that, right? He's trying to run this. I guess it's like a
The
I forget
hammer.
what he calls it now. The Hammer. Yeah, Darvin Ham
Yeah.
is named after him, right? Kind of the
Yeah.
offense that he ran, that he was a part of when he was in Detroit and Milwaukee as a player.
Hmm.
And the Hammer set is supposed to be it's supposed to be something that should fit Westbrook's style. I like what you said though. Using the comparison of LeBron James and Kyrie, I, but that one worked because of the style of play. Like there's still two different styles of player when you look at Kyrie versus LeBron. Westbrook and LeBron, in my opinion, they both do just different size player, but they do the same thing. They
Yeah.
get the ball
Because
up top and
yeah.
drive. Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, Kyrie can still space the floor. Kyrie can
Correct.
still, hit a wide open jumper, that isn't Westbrook's forte. But what I am hearing is that they're telling Westbrook, hey, work on your corner three shot. If you can work on, if you can hit which is the shortest shot in the game, I'm at the 3-point line. Then you can be a floor spacer if you run to that corner. So hopefully Westbrook is working on that. But it's on really. I know that the question is about Darvin Ham, but the real question is about Westbrook. Westbrook, what do you want to do? You're probably not going to be long term with the Lakers. This is probably your trial season to let the rest of the league know, hey, I can come to your organization and help you. What are you going to do about it? Then again, if you come in with the right attitude and it clicks, hell, the Lakers might keep you. It's not. Everything is at his fingertips if he would simply understand that you really got control of your own destiny. You're gonna make $40+ million this year from the Lakers, which is a blessing, huge blessing. And all you got to do is come in and give it your all and make it about winning. Play the right way, sell out on defense, not worry about your numbers. Let your numbers come within the floor of the game. Hit your wide open shots and cut hard. That's it.
Yeah, I see that. It's just tough for a guy who's been like programmed to play one way. And just touching back on that combination between him and LeBron, they both have the ball to start the offense. They both drive, then they both either finish or kick based on what the defense does. And when you both do the same thing, that leaves somebody hanging out to dry, if you will, either way. And to ask Westbrook to be a spot up shooter, he hadn't even had a transition phase of even doing that. So it's really a tall task that I see with that.
It's a tall task, but it wouldn't be as tall of a task if Westbrook was smart enough and say, let me come off the bench. Because that right there will free up 20 minutes of you to play Westbrook.
The way he want to play.
You get about 20 minutes a game where you can go and just be Westbrook.
Yeah.
If you would simply come off the bench. And then with that being said, if you and then once you are on the floor with the LeBron and AD, you know that you're gonna run, on a fast break, you're gonna run to the corners. Once the offense start, you slash across the middle, you make cuts and this, that, and the other to try to get you a back door, get you some easy stuff. This is about Westbrook has to expand his basketball IQ in order to be, because at the end of the day, while I know you're thinking it and I'm thinking it too, LeBron should do some sacrificing too, but LeBron's not gonna do it, and LeBron holds he holds the most weight. So it's really on Westbrook to swallow his pride back down and like, hey, I'm gonna do what I got to do, because at the end of the day, LeBron gonna be in the league for the next
90 years.
I mean, at minimum 2-3 more years.
Yeah,
easily making top dollar. Westbrook, you could be out the league next year if things go off the rails in LA. And I don't want to see that for Westbrook. It really reminds me of another great ball dominant player in Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson easily could have helped the team win a championship as a sixth man. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't humble himself to do it. I gotta be me, and well, you're gonna be me at home, and that's just that's the way it goes.
And also, athletic, smaller guards, if you will, in the NBA term, small, but athletic, smaller guards tend to end bad in a way. You know what I'm saying? If you just look at a lot of guys, like for example, like a Baron Davis. I mean, world of talent, world of athleticism. But as the athleticism kind of goes away, if you're not like a Steve Nash or Chris Paul or a Stockton style of guard, it's kind of tough to keep going. Or if you're not a spot up Steve Kerr type shooter, John Paxson, like a spot up role guy, those guys can last a little bit longer. But if you're really based off your athleticism, it's going to be a tough end for you unless you reinvent yourself. So what it sounds like is that Westbrook needs to reinvent himself, and it would be nice if the Lakers, some of the players on the Lakers team would also kind of help with that change too, and
Yeah.
kind of allow him to be open a little bit too. So we'll see where it goes. But I was just curious about what your thoughts were about Ham, because he really speaks highly of Westbrook, like as if this is his guy. You know what I'm saying? And so just wanted to see if all that adds up to you as well. Yeah. And by the way, over the last 2 years in the corner, he hasn't taken a lot of 3-point attempts in the corner, but Westbrook is shooting around 40%, which was an excellent number, if you will. But he doesn't take a lot of them, so it's like,
well, yeah. So he got to make that his 3-point shot. That's your spot. Get to the corner, and again, if game changer. If Westbrook comes in and say, "Bring me off the bench," game changer, because now this reinvent your game thing, it gets a lot easier. Now I just have to play different on the floor for 10 to 12 minutes. But other than that, I get to be me. Just just like, look, I'm gonna be this. If Westbrook should come in with a mentality, I'm gonna be the 6th man of the year. He should come in with a mentality, I'm gonna try to be the first 6th man of the year to average a triple-double off the bench. Wow, like it's stuff like that that's unheard of. But he's capable of doing it.
Yeah, he can get triple-double. He can get triple-double in 20 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. He got a triple-double just for the fun of it. So do that off the bench. Do that off the bench, and because what it's gonna force him to do, if he shoots for that means while he's on the floor with the second unit, it's about my assists, rebounds. Yep. Okay. When I'm on the floor with LeBron, I know I need to get open and hit me a couple threes. You do that, boom, triple-double.
Yep. Couple putbacks, layups. Yeah. That worked. I would actually like that.
And
I would like that for him.
Yeah, I mean, and that would actually make him even more legendary. So he gotta think about this in a different perspective.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how it goes. Speaking of offenses in the Westbrook and how he needs to acclimate himself and the adjustments there, the Lakers are talking now. They're talking about running the offense through the Anthony Davis, and so this is something that I know a lot of people, Laker fans and non-Laker fans, were really expecting when he arrived to LA, is that the offense runs through AD. So that's what the Lakers are talking about doing now. Do you think this is what they're going to end up doing, though?
I don't think it's a big deal or a surprise. I mean, in my opinion, that's when they did. That's what they did when they won the bubble championship. It ran through Anthony Davis. LeBron got MVP because AD got injured. AD was well on his way to winning that MVP. So I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, this is nothing new. This is like, okay, AD been hurt for 2 years. We had to run through LeBron, but when they were all healthy and really, to me, it ran through AD. So I mean, obviously LeBron is the quasi point guard, but that doesn't mean that he's running the offense through him. AD touched the ball and they reacted off that. That was the way the offense ran when they won a championship. So I don't, I'm like, next topic. Like this ain't even no doubt.
But look, I would like for not only the offense but the defense to run through him as well.
It did when we won the bubble. Yeah. I mean, so again, it's the same thing. AD, we this team goes as far as AD goes, and it's been that way. So,
well, maybe that answers the question. Maybe that's why we finished outside of the playing tournament. You know what I'm saying? 11 seed. So, Anthony Davis, you gotta get on the floor this year. You gotta stay as healthy as possible, and you're definitely gonna be needed and called upon to be the best guy on both ends of the court, offensively and defensively. The challenge for AD is to do like Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Being the runner for MVP and the defensive player of the year in the same season. Do something like that, and we'll definitely be back in the mix if that's the case. So yeah, that's the thing about Anthony Davis. But yeah, we'll be looking to see with training camp coming up soon, and then preseason. Preseason's around the corner, man. It's like a month and a half. already. It seemed like the NBA
Already.
season hadn't even ended.
Already. Yeah. All this drama going on, demanding trades and stuff,
Man,
it never
talking
ends.
talking about trades, man. Kevin Durant, he is in the news again.
Did he say he would retire before he?
Well, that was thrown out there. It was thrown out there, but then he shut that down on social media.
Okay.
So yeah, the one thing about Kevin Durant, I'll give him this: he gonna speak his mind, and he gonna speak it, using the social media platform. But he's gonna speak his mind and let you know what's going on. So he shut that one down. He said some anonymous person, whoever that is, he went in about that. But he said he's not retiring. He's not going to do that. But he reported by a lot of credible people out there. They are reporting that Kevin Durant is still demanding to be traded from the Nets. But man, it looks like Boston, they were in the mix. They wanted to be in the mix, but they don't want to give up too much. There's Phoenix definitely wants them, but it just looks like things won't line up for them to do it. And pretty much there's a ton of other teams that he just won't simply play for. Philly looks like they're in the mix now. But we touched on this one time before. I think it was in one of our production meetings, but it kind of makes sense. And it was spoken a little bit about it on TV too. But Kevin Durant to the Lakers, and you could do 1-for-1s that way. So I want you to talk about that. How can Kevin Durant end up on the Lakers?
I think the thing that makes the most sense is let's just go ahead and reunite everybody. Okay. And that is trade LeBron straight up for KD. You will reunite LeBron with Kyrie in Brooklyn. You will reunite KD with Westbrook in LA. Westbrook gets to be Westbrook again. KD gets to be KD. The difference is you got a force of nature down in the middle with Anthony Davis. I think that trio right there can definitely win a championship. It makes more sense on paper because KD doesn't need the ball to be dominant. You still feed the ball to Anthony Davis. Westbrook gets to run the point. It puts everybody in the right spot. I think it works out for Brooklyn. I mean, you cannot get equal value for Kevin Durant, but if LeBron James is more than equal.
Yes.
So, I mean, so that to me, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, and then from the LA perspective, we will be happy because we got a player that's locked in. We don't have LeBron James holding us over a barrel year after year. Up in the ante, making more money, not signing extensions and all that stuff there. So, I mean, it probably won't happen because you don't shop guys like LeBron, and you really can't shop him unless he signs the extension. So, right. So it probably, and LeBron's not going to sign an extension to the last minute. So that's probably why it won't happen. But if LeBron came in and signed an extension, I will be on the phone. I will be on the phone definitely with the Nets. Like, hey, I can pull you out the water. You can pull me out the water.
Yeah, it's definitely a win-win both ways. And look,
it's a win. It's a win-win.
Yeah, and crazy enough, a lot of times in trades, you have a team that has to lose in a trade. Actually, this is a trade where no one loses. I mean, on and off the court, no one loses.
No one loses. And LeBron's still in the big market. Now you went from LA to the Big Apple. You still, I mean, that's major.
Yeah, and Bronny could end up. He can end up over there too. Like it still works in all directions. So that's actually a fair trade. It's a good trade. It's probably not likely to happen, but man, that is one where I do see the Nets saying, okay, we'll run with that. I don't see how Philly and the Nets are going to get one done because that's really where Durant's moving his attention to now.
But to even talk about that trade, to even discuss that trade, that has to be a hush hush. No, this is that's an owner to owner conversation. I wouldn't even involve the GM until I'm ready to pull the trigger. That's just how. Because if that was the leak, all hell gonna break loose on both sides. So
Oh yeah, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy. Well, you mentioned some of the management in the Lakers organization, and we're gonna bring up the vice president of operations right now, Rob Pelinka. There's still a chance here for a couple offseason moves, possibly, as teams are starting to structure their lineup here. But what do you think that Rob has left in the bag?
oh man, I don't see much, man. I mean, I really don't. I mean, I don't. We're cap strapped. Um, the players that we would like to trade, nobody wants. The players that we want, you know, we wouldn't dare trade. I mean, I keep hearing about the Buddy Hield thing and the Miles Turner and all that stuff there, but I think that's kind of pie in the sky. I mean, until I see him pull it off, we really don't have a lot of draft capital. I mean, me personally, I think we got what we have, and that's what we're gonna have to roll with. Maybe we do something in the mid-season, but as of now, I don't see it, because the only piece that we want to trade is Westbrook, and nobody wants it.
Right.
And wants him, I mean, we drastically overvalue THT. So I mean, that ship is sailed on that. We could have got a nice piece for him last year, but I just don't. I don't. I mean, unless you see something I don't see, I don't see him being able to do much.
It's pretty dry right now, man. It's more so about development right now. That Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, I think that was a realistic, move, but it would have to been done close, more around the draft time. But I think that ship has sailed, man. And then we lost Bazemore, right? He's in Sacramento now. So a
Yeah,
lot
I
of key,
mean, that's kind of addition by subtraction. I was never high on Bazemore, but
yeah. But it's just players are. I mean, I don't know, man. Just got to dig out there and see what's going on. I know the Thomas Bryant pickup. He's an energy guy. He was one of us.
yeah,
He was a Laker in
he
the
was one.
beginning, anyway.
I didn't want to see. I didn't want to see him go anyway. He's a 4-man / center that can stretch the floor. Energy guy. Had a couple of injuries. He trying to rehab and everything, and I'm rooting for him. Welcome home. But yeah, I mean, I seen some trades that kind of intrigued me. I mean, speaking of coming home, the Knicks are shopping Julius Randle.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, and if there's any team stupid enough to take Westbrook, it's the Knicks. It's definitely the Knicks. I would do a Cam Reddish and Julius Randle swap for Westbrook and THT. I mean, hey, let's go. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's tough, man. And I mean, even the free agents out here, man, it's really. I mean, you talking guys like LaMarcus Aldridge, Isaiah Thomas. Like, it's the well is dry out there, man. So it's
Yeah,
gonna have to. It's just gonna have to be some development going on.
but the Lakers need that. LeBron
Yeah.
needs that. I mean, let me just say this. Shannon Sharp, he has this saying: the very road that you take to avoid something, that'll be the road that take you slap into what you was trying to avoid. And I find it ironic that in the beginning of all this, when LeBron first came into the Lakers, he flexed his muscle and got rid of all our young talent. Okay. And now this young talent is developing and flourishing. Now here we go full circle. You got this young team and a lot of guys that need to develop. And at some point or another, LeBron, you got to pay it forward. You can't always have a ready-made situation. Can't always have a team full of veterans and guys that, ready to go out the gate and get it done. Sometimes you got to do some teaching. You got to go through the growing pains and help these guys mature, and that investment in time and energy will pay off, and that's how you win multiple championships. Honestly, I think if we had kept our young core, we'll be getting ready for a three-peat right now.
Oh yeah.
That's the difference. I mean, because with a guy like Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball at the point, we still could have signed AD. That's what people don't understand.
Right. He could have came as a free agent.
You could have came as a free agent. Now you're loaded. You're loaded at every position. It wouldn't even be all this. You would still have Kyle Kuzma as your sixth man. It's like that's what you want. That's what you want. And LeBron, because of his impatience and the buddy ball mentality, here we are. But now it's full circle, and now you got a lesser breed of younger talent that you still have to help develop.
We'll see how that goes, man. All right, so we got one more topic for tonight. This is an interesting one, very interesting one. Arguably the greatest Laker of all time. You definitely conversation.
Let me set this one up. This one's perfect. So I we always do these rankings of who the greatest ever, this, that, and the other, and you got some people that feel like this certain guy is better than the late great Kobe Bryant, and they usually use the accolades as the tipping point, the voted on awards, as I call them. And I'm talking about the Tim Duncan versus Kobe Bryant debate. It's been going on for a long time. They're rivals, 10 championships between the two of them, 5 apiece, met head to head multiple times. Kobe has the edge in the playoffs. Duncan has the edge in the regular season. I mean, 2 juggernauts. But at some point, you got to look at the accolades in perspective. Me personally, I'm not a big voted on award type of guy. And what I mean by voted on award, I don't be like, well, he's a 2-time MVP or he's a 3-time MVP, because I know MVPs don't carry as much weight as we say they do. I know that defensive players of the year doesn't carry as much weight as we say it does. Because if it really did, and we get to talking about, let's just say the greatest perimeter player of all time on defense. Let's say the greatest defender on that perimeter of all time. Most people would say at least have Scottie Pippen in your top 3. The fact that Scottie Pippen doesn't have one defensive player of the year makes you question the whole award altogether. Like, what does that award even mean? If Scottie Pippen doesn't have a defensive player of the year, then I don't know what that award means.
Mm-hmm.
The MVP, when you're talking about Steve Nash and Joker, they got 2 MVPs, and Shaq has 1, Kobe has 1, Barkley has 1. You got guys that were just great, phenomenal, and they have none. Dwayne Wade doesn't have an MVP at all. I mean, like that. Let's talk about that. And so when you get into that aspect of it all, man, that can't be the deciding factor between Kobe and Tim Duncan. In my opinion, Kobe is dusting. And when you look at the fact that Kobe has him by almost 7,000-8,000 points, when you look at the fact that when Kobe gets injured, because people love to tout that Tim Duncan, he always had a winning season, never missed the playoffs. That's great. That's phenomenal. But you do know Tim Duncan got hurt. And when he got hurt, they still won and still made it to the playoffs. When Kobe got hurt, the season was over with. So that tells you the level of impact and what you were depending on from these guys. Also, when you get into the downtime of the Lakers, I mean, Kobe was really scrubbing. He was really scraping the bottom of the barrel when you're talking about, no offense, but you're talking about Smush Parker, Kwame Brown, Brian Cook, Chris Mim, Luke Walton. These guys were all in his starting line. These were starters. Okay? These were starters. These guys wouldn't make the team on a lot of those other teams. So like I say, it's just so much more that goes into it. I mean, and you know, at some point or another, you gotta look at, you gotta trust your eyes. You gotta know what you're looking at, and know, like, Tim Duncan's great, but Kobe, come on, man, it's cold, man. Come on, if you really watching the game and really a student of the game, there's no way you can look at them two players and like, yeah, Tim Duncan better, averaging 20 points at best. It's like, come on.
It's interesting, man, and we also have. I mean, we actually have some archive. I'll post it on this page, on this show, about you actually did a breakdown with Hype South, Kwesi,
Yeah.
about Tim Duncan versus Kobe. I'll make sure that I'll put that out there so people can listen to that one too, because that was some good information from both of you guys on that. But man, it's one of those things too. I think that Kobe will, he won't get the benefit of the doubt. Well, during that period of time, because of the period of time that he played with Shaq, which a lot of people like to use, but a lot of people don't use that in the modern times. It's
Was
interesting
it
how, but it's interesting how that was an issue during that
then,
time. But then we move forward in time, and it's
and
not an
people
issue
stacking
when
it
he can
up.
play with. Yeah, and it's
It
not an issue.
it
You know what I
it
mean?
well, I mean, but also, even sticking to the Tim Duncan Kobe Bryant thing. If you look at, let's just say Shaq was the best player on the team every year. Kobe Bryant still put up way better numbers than Tim Duncan did on his lesser years. You talking about Tim Duncan was out there averaging 15, 16 points a game, while Kawhi and Tony Parker were carrying him to championships. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so like it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, even from that perspective, Kobe Bryant was contributing more, even on the second tier role. You know, so I mean, you got to look at more than just what the media try to shape up, because the thing about it is, you got to understand, Tim Duncan represents what the white media, I'm gonna say it, what the white media wants the black NBA player to be, which is quiet, mild mannered, don't cause any fuss, any ruckus, no flamboyancy. He just runs up, he makes his layup, runs back down, and gets on defense. That's what they want. And so they championed him. Kobe Bryant, he had the rape trial, he had this, he had that, beef with Shaq, all this stuff here. He was a lightning rod. And in my opinion, there were several years Kobe should have gotten the MVP, and they robbed him of it. And so at some point or another, it just comes down to, what does that award really, what do those voted on awards really mean? I mean, even I mean, I can even talk about LeBron. I think LeBron should have gotten Defensive Player of the Year a couple times. I think Kobe should have gotten Defensive Player of the Year a couple times. It was one year they gave the Defensive Player of the Year to Marc Gasol, and he didn't even make first team all defensive. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought LeBron should have got Defensive Player of the Year. So it just, the media is funny. And so I got this old saying: you lead the voting to politics and figure skating. But when we talking about sports, it's about what you put up on them boards. And if you get down into the numbers, I mean, we talking about you. Kobe Bryant is the only player to ever walk planet Earth to have 33 plus thousand points and over 12 first team all defensive. That is the epitome of a two-way player.
Yeah.
All-time great. You can make a case he's the greatest two-way player to ever step on the floor. That's what Kobe
What?
Bryant is. So,
What?
no disrespect to Tim Duncan. Stop disrespecting Kobe.
Yeah. All right, man. Well said. Now going back to when you talked about Scottie Pippen in the '90s, and uh, here's a list of the guys who won the Defensive Player of the Year in the '90s. It's a tough list, but you made me think about that. And Pippen, by the way, is on the top, the starting five for the whole decade of the '90s. So, and it's really because of his defense. And let's see, Dennis Rodman, he won it in the '90s. All right, he started it off. David Robinson, followed by Olajuwon twice, Mutombo, then Gary Payton, then Mutombo two more times.
Stop right there. Stop right there.
And Alonzo Mourning.
Pippen should have got maybe 2 of Mutombo's. I get Mutombo blocked a lot of shots, but you got to understand, Pippen guarded sometimes 3-4 positions a night.
Yeah.
Okay. The fact that, and like I say, I don't want to get into my Jordan rant, but I always felt like they didn't want to give Scottie Pippen the award because in some crazy way it might take some away from Jordan. Lord forbid somebody else on that team got some credit. And when it came down to it, man, like how is it that Michael Jordan got the Defensive Player of the Year one time, and he was never the best defensive player on the team? It was always Scottie. Like, I'm a Laker fan. Magic cooked Jordan. It wasn't until Scottie got on Magic that the Bulls took that championship. If James Worthy didn't get hurt and they had to keep that matchup as is, Magic was gonna cook Jordan the rest of that series. He was gonna cook him. Scottie got on him. He went to turning Magic, and I've never seen Magic look that bad till Scottie got a hold of him. Got to give Scottie his due, man. Got to give him his due.
I mean, that's the new wave there. And then, like with Jordan, he got his league MVP, but it was in the 80s. So that was like right when Pippen was drafted. Like, I think Pippen was drafted in 87. That's the year I think Jordan won it, was 87, 88. So, but yeah, there was a couple opportunities there in the 90s for Pippen to get that MVP. I mean, I'm sorry, the Defensive Player of the Year award. And like in 87, that's when Jordan got his.
That back-to-back Mutombo, that should have been, like, I'm not saying Mutombo don't deserve one because he got 3 of them. So you should have gave Mutombo that one, but that back-to-back should have went to Pippen. When you talking about you've won 6 championships in one decade, like, and you hands down the best defender on the team, you should have got that. You should have got that. But it still goes back to, what does the award really mean? Like, Karl Malone has 1 MVP. You mean tell me Steve Nash better than Karl Malone? You mean tell me Joker better than Karl Malone? That's why when we have these debates, you can't just go to the accolades and like, yeah, this and this and this. No. Those are voted on awards. Those are voted on awards. Those are media has a story they want to tell. Like, I mean, Westbrook got an MVP because he had a triple-double. 2 years later, the MVP, triple-double don't mean anything anymore. Well, if it meant something 3 years ago, it should mean something, now. Like, it's about the story they want to tell that season. Like Steve Nash, all I heard, he makes his teammates better. He makes his teammates better. That was the narrative. Fast forward, oh man, he's such an amazing scorer when they want to give it to Durant. It's about what it's not saying that either guy didn't deserve what they got, but come on, you can't go by that.
Yeah, man.
You can't go by that.
Well stated, man. So yeah, but I appreciate you being on, man. We're gonna chop it up again when we get close to the training camp, because we'll have an idea of who's on the roster at that time, and we'll see how things shape out then. And we'll definitely keep an eye on Anthony Davis. Keep an eye on Anthony Davis in his health situation. You know what I mean? Because
absolutely,
that's definitely gonna be key right there. Is that man gonna be healthy and ready to go? Because we definitely gonna need him. Because look, the West is not getting any easier, man. You got the Clippers; they're coming back, right? They're retooling. They picked up Wall. Kawhi should play this year, and that's a whole different situation right there.
I mean,
that's just one team.
And the Clippers, I think they moved out the basement, didn't
they? Yeah, they're heading out of there. Yeah, that new arena. I don't think it's quite ready yet, but that's what they're heading. They're heading to their own arena.
I mean, well, hey, I'm gonna tell LeBron. Let me tell you right now, you better not let the Clippers win one in our home on your watch. You do that right there, your legacy as a Laker is forever tarnished. You cannot let the strippers get one in our home. They if they gonna win one, they better be once they moved out the basement. As long as they in that basement in the Staples Center, I ain't calling it crypto. It's the Staples Center. As long as they in that basement of the Staples Center. LeBron, you better not let them win one. You got 1 year to hold it down. Hold it down.
Yeah, we're gonna see, man. All right, we appreciate everybody watching and listening to the Laker Locker Room. He's Rod. I'm Mr. 411. And we're gonna do this again in about a couple weeks, man. We'll be right back at it. Have a good one.